So now I know that TEFL, TESOL, CELTA, different names for the same thing, difference and recognition, basically. And okay, so I'm as an English teacher, or I wanted to be an English teacher. Which one is the best and why? How can I choose the best that fits me?
Well, I think that's where it's very important to look at the course details very carefully. First, what's your future plan? All right. Are you planning to leave your country? Because that's probably your most important question. So obviously, if you are planning to work abroad, then you'll probably need to take a CELTA. So, if you don't have the money now, it's probably time to start saving. So that's probably your most valuable certificate for traveling because it's so widely recognized.
Yes.
Right? However, as I've said, it's a lot of money to pay for a course. We all know because when we paid it, we all sort of went, woo, it's a big amount to part with, a large amount to part with. But if your plans for the time being are to stay in your own country, then it might be best to take a TEFL course. And especially if your English level, if you're not sure that your English level is, high enough to take the CELTA at this time. So take a TEFL course. You'll certainly learn a great deal from it. It'll start you off. And you might find in a year or two or a few years later, you might decide you want to take the CELTA. So in some ways, it gives you a nice background, right? So this all comes down to your personal plans. When you're searching online for courses, look at the course outline. What components are they covering? Is it about teaching vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation? Are these the things that you want? Is there any teaching practice? This usually tells you a lot about a course, because if the course is only input and just sessions, then you're not getting any teaching practice. So I think that's always the litmus test for a good TEFL, TESOL course, because if there's teaching practice,
so you're recommending if you're taking a TEFL course, whatever the TEFL, TESOL, or CELTA, CELTA for sure it has its TP, teaching practice. So you're recommending to have a teaching practice TEFL course?
Well, yes, because at the end of the day, you want to have some kind of paper that says, yes, I can teach. And I would imagine for most employers, and I know certainly, I've worked with a lot of employers over the years, the first thing you do is when you see a certificate that's different from CELTA or Trinity TESOL, is you're like, so did you do any teaching practice? All right? Because, otherwise the course is just theory if there wasn't any teaching practice. And that's what we need to know, isn't it? Is that, somebody observed you teaching and gave you some feedback. Right?
Sure.
So those things are guaranteed on a CELTA because you can't not do teaching practice on a CELTA. But some of the TEFL courses available don't always provide that, unlike the IH one, which does. But, these are things to remember. Look for the teaching practice.